insane profits here, $41,000 right now. As you can see, we're making insane money here on the VPVR. There's nothing left anymore and running into a new all-time high. Bitcoin broke over $70,000 yesterday, and we are on the way to a potentially new all-time high, even though I still expect a small correction before that. I'm gonna show you today why we pumped and what's coming next, and which altcoins I'm going to trade in this run right now. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here once again on this, which day is it actually? Tuesday. Sorry, everything is getting blurred when you're trading so much. Let me start off with what drove the Bitcoin price yesterday and this morning over the edge to pump here to almost $72,000. It was an announcement that wasn't nothing new, but Trump was putting more emphasis again on it yesterday by saying that he will build a national reserve, a national Bitcoin reserve. And after that, price started to accelerate to the upside. There's also some talks about that he wants to use his new, what is it called, World Liberty Reserve currency as a new stable coin and basically replace USDT and USDC with it, at least in the US, which in my opinion would be not the worst for the US market. So that's also absolutely fine. So and Trump has a real shot here of winning. In my opinion, he has already won. And you only need to look for that at Polymarkets. At Polymarkets, he's up almost 35% against Kamala Harris. So it's a 32.6%. So let it be 33%. There is actually an analyst out there, political analyst, that said if Polymarkets hits 69%, it's mathematically impossible for Kamala Harris to win the election. If on Polymarkets we hit 69%, and we are really, really close to that. But I don't want to talk about too much the election because some people hate him, some people love him, and everybody is entitled to his own opinion. Let's talk about the markets here. The move here to the upside was primarily fueled once again here by leverage. You can see this on CoinGlass. And here, really, really interesting, we came up here in open interest above the 90,000 mark and broke through it, and now raging here continuously to the upside. So, and to see where the next resistance lies potentially, we have to go here into a higher time frame. And then you see the next level where we potentially get a rejection from might be up here, close to 100,000. We are now breaking above 92,700. Most likely also closing there today if nothing crazy happens and we get here some sort of correction already by today. Then we most likely rally up here to like 100,000 in open interest, and from there get potentially then that flush back to the downside. The move overall, spot is stepping in right now into this rally, so we might have hit here the low, but I would like to see in spot volume that we are breaking which level? I would like to see actually here this downward sloping trend line that's in here. Basically this downward sloping trend line. This is what I want to see broken. Once that is broken, then also see here nice continuation to the upside, because then we know, okay, potentially spot buyers are stepping in now to push the price even higher, regardless of what leverage is doing. So, and I think we might be really, really close here. Now, when we look at the Bitcoin price on the daily chart, this correction period might also finally coming now to an end. We are really close to it right now. We are just, what is this, 5% away? Yeah, 4% away to leave that correctional phase. So the correctional phase, officially, we are going to leave it when we are breaking the high over here at $73,952. But I'm telling you guys, once we are breaking above and close above, let it be $71,630, it's a done deal, guys. It's a matter of hours, potentially 3-4 days maximum, that we're finally leaving that phase and running into a new all-time high. And then here on this chart with our golden cross, also here we are breaking above crucial resistance here at $70,800, going now into the horizontal resistance of $74,000, which will be then a new all-time high, and this can happen in the next coming days also much faster than everybody is expecting. Remember what I said? I said we are going to teleport here really quick to the upside when we're breaking above $69,000, $70,000, and this is exactly what we are experiencing here currently with Bitcoin. Then on the 12-hourly chart, also here on the VPVR, there's nothing left anymore to drag us down. So right now we have here a small correction, which is absolutely normal because the stochastic is printing here a sell signal right now. The RSI is pointing down, but the MACD is the MACD is still bullish, and the reason for that is that we are just running here into this massive resistance up here. So that is the reason why we are currently pulling a little bit down, and this is the last line of defense for the bears before we hit a new all-time high based on the VPVR cluster, the historical price action, because after this nothing is really stopping Bitcoin anymore to pump here way into higher levels. 12-hourly chart, I just want to tell you guys congratulations if you were in this trade here since 2 weeks ago. So we have finally hit the target here. That was an 11.54% move here, so congratulations. I had a feeling when we were breaking here above that area, here that resistance area, and start to consolidate, that this will lead to a pump here to the upside. You can go back to many of my videos over the last 1.5 weeks, basically any of these videos where I told you that that we are going to get here into way higher levels sooner than anybody was anticipating. Here on the 4-hourly chart, remember the W formation that I mentioned. Yesterday we broke above this here when we broke $69,000 and basically immediately teleported into the technical target of it. So I can pull up the technical target, but I think it was already hit. Let's take it to this higher low. Yeah, really close. So we are $1,000 away from it. So if you're still in this trade, you can still hold this into $72,000. Just be aware that we are most likely pulling back here into $70,400 at some point before we will move higher. And if you want to catch the next trade, guys, the only thing that you need to do is deposit $100 and get $500 for free in an airdrop position from Bybit here on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and many other coins. Also Phantom, I'm gonna speak about most of these coins here in a moment. So get your free airdrop position, guys. You need liquidity where you can get it, and especially if it's for free, to even leverage your capital, you know, and you leverage it here absolutely for free by just depositing $100 by opening a Bybit account. So use the link in the description and the pin comment below to do that right now. Then when we're going here to our MDX Algo scalp gradient, here we get the first indication of potentially exhaustion in that rally on the shorter time frames, because we get here a take profit point signal, and also on the MDX Algo reactor indicator we have here 2 early reversal indications. And again, guys, this is absolutely normal, you know. So we were pumping here from $67,000 straight into $72,000, almost $72,000 here, without any major pullback on the 4-hourly time frame. So it's absolutely normal that we are getting here take profit indications, and most likely when we are running here into this supply zone above us into $72,900, $73,800. I think we will just barely scratch it, and then we get our move here to the downside. So I just want you to be prepared of that. Don't get too much euphoria right now that we are here straight teleporting to $80,000 and beyond, because on shorter time frames we definitely need here soon some consolidation, most likely something like this here, and then we come down a little bit, consolidate here above 70,000 or even slightly below 70,000 in the $69,000 area, and then we continue to go here into a much higher levels. And here on the liquidation levels, also here we have cleaned most of the short liquidity that was sitting above us. Now we are at resistance at $71,400. Remember, guys, I told you we are going to hit this and then start to consolidate. That's exactly what we are seeing here right now. Once we are stepping through this, we teleport immediately almost to $73,000 by taking out all these mid-size leveraged short positions that are just here right above us currently. Now, give it a 48 hours, in my opinion, 48 hours, and we're going to potentially break here into $73,000, and then getting that pullback that I talked about here back to the EMA ribbon, and which is currently at $69,200. And that would also make a lot of sense, because look, since we broke above this here, we moved far away from the EMA ribbon, and you know what I'm saying all the time, when we are moving away from the EMA ribbon, we have to come back down to retest this as support before we get continuation, and this is definitely happening here in the next couple of hours. Then on the liquidation heat map, also here you're going to see now, let's move this actually now to 6 months, that we took out here a lot of liquidity, and exactly as I said that we got a short squeeze here in one single candle to the upside. Now here is still a lot of liquidity at the $72,000, $73,000 area, but once that is taken out, there's not really a lot of liquidity there anymore. Give us fuel to pump you higher on leverage, hence why I'm saying we will come back down into these lower areas, and for that I go now over the last 3 days, and we'll come down here into this kind of cluster here. So this is what we need to look out for a bounce before we get a move here back to the upside. So, and of course, the trade that I have for the last couple of days is racking in insane profits here, $41,000 right now. It was earlier already 40, I think on the high it was like $50,000. So since last week I made here $63,000 in profit if I would close it now. I have a stop loss at $71,000. Just for the simple reason, if we start to pull back from here below $70,000, I would just use all the money and put it back into a trade here. So once I get stopped out, I will be close to $160,000 here in total equity, and will be ready for the next move to put it all back into a new position and keep compounding the profits, guys, you know, so which is really important. So at least that's my strategy. You can have your own strategy. Now, when we're going back to Bitcoin really quick, because I want to show it to you guys. So the level that I'm looking at, because it's important to show you this, for my next entry on Bitcoin is here, this cluster. This is what I'm looking for. Actually, this here. So this is the cluster where I want to get in on the pullback for Bitcoin. And trust me, that pullback is coming, guys. Even if we teleport higher, that pullback is coming. I don't care if we go first up here and then come down, or from here start going down. It doesn't matter. We will come back down here into this area. So, and from there, I'm gonna set up a new trade, even if it's here from the top of the range. And that will go then straight first up here into a new all-time high. Let it be $74,000. But I'm actually targeting way, way, way higher. Remember this $89,000 target, the golden ratio. That will be the trade that I will be chasing here. And I'm going to open that position on a new exchange potentially. I'm negotiating right now still with them. Potentially open that trade on a new exchange, and you're going to see how much money we are racking in on that one, because that is almost a 29% move here to the upside on that specific setup here. So now let's start talk about altcoins, guys, because also here total free market cap is still printing higher lows over higher lows. We are starting to form here that W formation. I don't have to tell you that ascending triangle is also getting squeezed here more and more. We're getting really close to $650 billion. Once we are here back into that range, remember guys, we are definitely going to break through this, and also going to teleport here into $700 billion really, really quickly. So you want to make sure that you're in the right altcoins to take advantage of that move. And I'm going to show you some of the altcoins here in a moment. So stick around here. Also that you're signed up on ZoomX, guys. As you can see, we're making insane money here on ZoomX. I also going to trade more altcoins here in the future. You stand also a chance to win $100. Did I want to give away $100 today? I have to do it tomorrow, guys. Really, really sorry about that. I have to do it tomorrow. So I'm going to give away $500 tomorrow if you deposit $100 and open a trade on ZoomX. You can open and close a $1 trade. Doesn't matter, guys. Take advantage of that. I do it twice per week. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and on Saturday for ZoomX. And yeah, we're going to just leave it by there. So sign up with the link in the description and the pin comment below. The Bitcoin dominance is getting closer here to the 60% mark. We are still grinding here higher and higher. And just don't forget, guys, even if we are now getting a pullback on Bitcoin and the dominance drops down here, as soon as Bitcoin turns around, we're going to hit most likely here the top of this upward sloping resistance line, potentially even step through this and then only turn around and get our proper altcoin run. So here right now in Bitcoin pairs, everything is suffering. But this is absolutely fine, because right now I'm anyway trading dollars, only a few Bitcoin pairs. I'm really getting interested a lot into Bitcoin pairs, when we got here to 60% or potentially even slightly above that. And then I want to be in Bitcoin pairs. And with Ethereum broke here back into $2,625. We are currently sitting here under resistance. And also here you see we have here this ascending triangle. We are still in the early stages, so we can move here and consolidate still for quite a while before we get a proper breakout. I believe that we're going to reach the top here of the range at $2,770 by the end of the week, most likely. But again, I want to warn you guys, this is a big resistance level up here, and we are most likely not immediately going to break it. So the price will most likely just get more squeezed in this ascending triangle before we break this to the upside, and then get much, much closer into the $3,000 range. So I also just want to show you here the technical target of that ascending triangle once we're breaking out of this range. So you see here, this is $3,434 approximately, the technical target, and that is the trade that I'm looking at. So can you enter right now? Yes, you can, but you lock up your liquidity and you wait for a move that's most likely not happening until mid-November to start by mid-November breaking here $2,700 or $2,800. So why should I lock up my liquidity right now if I can make other trades that are moving faster than Ethereum? So and you should also need to think about stuff like that, where you allocate your funds and where you get the quickest profits right now, and not lock up liquidity and wait for a move that is still here in development. And here Solana is rampaging continuously to the upside. You can see here this level is now also support, most likely. Remember what I said when we are closing a daily 4-hourly candle above $180. This would be a good moment to take it, this trade setup of 24.5% profit all the way up to $223. Because once we are clearing this here, there's only one big resistance, the $193 resistance and the $200 psychological dollar resistance. And once that is broken, you're going to see that we are snapping really quick into new all-time high for Solana, and the indicators are supporting this. Stochastic haven't print yesterday a buy signal, the MACD being bullish, and the RSI also going here to the upside. The lower time frames are the only ones that are a little bit overextended right now. You can clearly see that here on the 4-hourly chart, but we are consolidating, and even if we come down to $176, this is absolutely fine. You just wait that we come back up here, basically 2-3%, and then take the trade setup over here into the next logical target. So if you're in this trade setup over here that I had given a couple of days ago, you're absolutely fine. You don't need to do anything. Just raise your stop loss into profit and you're good. Let's talk about some other coins that are rampaging here, and one of them is definitely Phantom. Phantom was here today already at 72.5 cents. Oh shit, that high. I actually did not realize that. I only knew around 72 was what I saw. Here on the daily chart also, everything's setting up to move higher. The MACD will print a buy signal by today. By today's daily close potentially. Worst case by tomorrow. You're going to see then also that we're going to get a move here into the 80 cents mark. Latest by the end of the week. So here, if you want to get into Phantom, the best way to do it right now is if you go to 4-hourly chart and you wait for a break of this downward sloping trend line. This downward sloping trend line, or here a horizontal trend line, that is what you want to wait for here. So we basically moved here exactly to that point, more or less today. Here, 72.6 cents. Once we are breaking above that, that's where I would enter this. Otherwise, when we're breaking above the downward sloping trend line, that is where you can enter currently. Phantom trade. If we pull back a little bit lower, then here around the 200 moving average would be the other setup that I would be looking at here into 80 cents. That's also a 15% move here still to the upside. But I, again, want to warn you, Phantom likes to move here really, really quick as long as Bitcoin is on a massive run. We see this every single time with Phantom, that Phantom is running like crazy when Bitcoin is running crazy. So don't be surprised if we get here a really quick move to the upside with a breakout, something like this here, and you're gonna get left behind. Rune is also a real beast. I warned you about this when we broke out here at $5.40. I said we are moving in really quick into $6, and once we are breaking this level, we are moving also much quicker into the technical target here of $6.42, and this is exactly what we are seeing here. If we are not hitting this target in the next 24 hours, then expect it in the next 2-3 days to be hit, while Rune will consolidate a little bit before we get in that move here to the upside. So for a move back to the downside, a cool off move here, I would expect at least $5.60, $5.50 as the range where we could come back down to before we then continue to move here in direction of $7 and potentially into double digits for Rune over the next couple of weeks. So if you're here still in the trade setup that I had given, absolutely fine. Again, raise your stop losses, let it run. Doge is completely flying off the charts here. We were already close to 17 cents. Now we are also starting to pull back here on the 12-hourly chart. The MACD is here still bullish, the stochastic still bullish, but I think we have reached now the end of the ladder for Doge, and we need also to get here proper pullback to the downside. So here a pullback on the lower time frames, even here. So a pullback to like 15.6, 15.1, that might be the level that we come back to before we then continue the run here into 20 cents. So here that might be your chance to get Doge one more time cheap before we get another 30% move to the upside. And I want to remind you guys, we called it from all the way down here from 10 cents is where we called it. Now we're at 16, so 65% move since we have called it. If you want to trade on a decentralized platform because you cannot use Bybit or ZoomX, guys, trade on AlphaX. Also here I give away twice per week $500 if you just deposit $100 on the platform. No strings attached. Deposit $100. Keep them there until you are announced as a winner. Here I gonna draw also tomorrow the first winner. So tomorrow I give away $1,000 in the next video, so make sure that you have $100 on ZoomX and $100 on AlphaX if you want to stand a chance to win on one of the both exchanges $500. Also here, link is in the description and the pin comment below for that. Now Fetch looks for me ready to break out to the upside. Missed yesterday to get in here, or early morning today. Not the worst situation right now. You can still enter at current price levels. I would not be scared to do that. Of course, the stop loss will be a little bit higher, so you would be here at 10% stop loss here. I would not leverage more than 5 with 5x here, and to the upside you're looking at 41%. So that is still an absolutely great setup to be trading in. And here, the best case scenario is that we break above the downward sloping trend line of that falling wedge pattern, and tomorrow get continuation to the upside. You can technically wait for that, but right now coins start to move so fast, I would not be waiting for this and rather take my chances, because the indicators are all telling me we are going up here. Stochastic to the upside, MACD losing momentum on the sell side and giving us a buy signal tomorrow. RSI only starting to get into bullish territory, so everything trimmed for higher prices currently. And then the next one is HNT. Also here we are starting to move to the upside. You are also still technically not super too late just yet, but this is like, when you see this video, this is like the last chance, to get in here. You can make a case for wait for this downward sloping trend line to be broken for a different higher target than the downward sloping trend line that is the current technical target of this trade setup over here. And actually, let's talk about this. Let's see what would be the next logical higher target here on the Fibonacci extension. So that would be $10.16, $10.51. And now if we extrapolate that over here, so that would be from that break point, almost 46%. 46% against an 8.5% stop loss. So that would be definitely a good setup here. Fair warning, once we are getting here to this downward sloping resistance line, be careful what's happening here. Set your stop losses in profit just below $7.20 to make sure that if we get a correction and we don't get supported from the golden ratio here at $7.55, $7.64, that you get not wicked out of your position or end up in a loss. So that's the most important thing, that you are not ending up in a loss on that trade setup. Then Render is one of the coins that I'm currently looking at for a new trade. Here the downward sloping resistance line is what's currently holding us down. Once that is broken, I also think that we're gonna get a really quick breakout to the upside. On the daily chart, we are still at fair levels. The MACD is about to flip bullish here. The RSI is in a sharp angle going to the upside. The stochastic still has a lot of room to go to the upside. So here, $5.60 might come really quick here over the next couple of days, maybe 48 hours, once we are breaking above this downward sloping resistance line. So that is one of the next trades that I'm personally gonna take once we're breaking this downward sloping resistance line. Then the next one, also here, Link is right now at our entry level. We have gotten our buy signal on the stochastic RSI. The RSI is pointing to the upside. The MACD will print today a buy signal. That whole selling phase over here was a fake out, as you can see by these 4 candles that we have on the MACD. And we also did not move that much to the downside. We had here like a 10% move to the downside in that fake out, and now coming back to the upside. And that might be now finally the move that we are waiting for, that is breaking this downward sloping resistance. And in my opinion, also here, we're going to get a really quick move into higher prices once we are reclaiming $11.55 and breaking here $11.80 and this downward sloping resistance line, because here on the indicators, there's just so much more room to go to the upside. And also here, I want to point out that we are having a pennant that's currently forming here, and price is running into the apex. And also by mid-November, we are at the peak of it, where we need to get a breakout here to the upside, but that will happen much, much earlier than anybody thinks, in my opinion. Then ICP is also getting ready to break out of the falling wedge here on the 12-hourly chart. Once we are breaking above $8.20, you will see that we are then also moving really quickly into higher prices. On the daily chart, we are just getting started. We just got a buy signal yesterday here on the stochastic RSI. We have the first green candle on the MACD, and the RSI is also just starting to warm up here to run into higher levels. Here is also, I think, still a downward sloping trend line that we need to pay attention to. That is another downward sloping trend line that we need to keep an eye on. But I can tell you guys, once we're breaking here above $9, roughly, it will be in $8.80, $9, somewhere in between. Once we're breaking above that, we are going really quick here above $10 with ICP. So that is one of the trades that I'm currently already in, and I will keep holding this into $10, $11, $12, and will not take any profits before that. And the reason for that is also when I go here to the Fibonacci extension levels. See here, the first target is on the extensions $11.34, $11.65, and that's where I'm targeting on the way to the upside once we are breaking this downward sloping resistance line. The next one is Uniswap. Uniswap still good to enter, in my opinion. You are not too late on the daily chart, because also here we are just setting up to get a buy signal on the MACD. Stochastic printed it already. RSI just warming up here in bullish territory. We are above the green buy zone that I mentioned so many times I cannot count anymore. And we are sitting currently above the 200 moving average. So if we close above the 200 moving average, still good to enter. Just remember, your stop loss is then way, way higher than anybody else's that caught it lower. So here also not more than 5x, and you still look at 43.4% of a profit to the upside into that the supply area that's currently sitting above us. And we are still waiting for that golden cross that's going to happen here in mid-November. Early mid-November is when we're going to get it, somewhere here in that time window, in my opinion. The next one is Telegram. Also Telegram here in that green box area was every single time a good time to enter, so still not too late. Here also I wait that we are breaking this downward sloping trend line to see if I want to keep holding my ton position or not. I dollar cost average my position actually down, guys. So just that you know, my entry is now at $5.20. So I'm just 3.7% or something away from my current entry and holding it. And here the first indication for a move into $6 will be a reclaim of the 50 moving average. Still good moment to enter, because also here the indicators are just setting up for a higher move. Look here, the MACD is about to print a buy signal today. Stochastic going up, RSI going a little bit sideways, because we are also here sitting under a major resistance level. Just I don't want to ignore that, but I believe also Telegram will have finally its move here, and its time in the sun to move here into higher prices over the next couple of days. Then one coin that's rampaging today is SUI. SUI is on its way to make a new all-time high, in my opinion. Look at the indicators; they're completely on the bottom. So, and I actually gonna open now on another exchange quick a SUI trade, because this is just insane, guys. Here in a SUI trade, guys, just want to show it to you. So SUI trade running. We are currently still below that big supply zone, but SUI is eating into it, and the top of it is $2.18, which is another 10% move, a 10% move here. And then we are really close to a new all-time high here at $2.35. We potentially hit an all-time high today or tomorrow, guys, for SUI. So that will happen now really, really quickly. I should have paid more attention to SUI, to be honest. But it's fine, guys. It's fine. You know, so at least I'm in now. If we are not seeing a big rejection here to the downside today, then expect tomorrow another explosive move here with continuation to the upside, especially as long as we are above this downward sloping resistance line on SUI, which potentially tomorrow will be already support. The last one, Casper. Casper still needs a little bit time to set up. Here also, I'm watching the downward sloping resistance line. And once we're coming up here and breaking above this, as you can see here with that path that I've drawn in here, then the next target will be 16 cents point 75 and 18 cents as the target area, because of all these wicks that are up here. So that will be the imminent next target for Casper. So if you want to wait on some coins, you know, Casper is one of the coins where we still need a little bit more patience before we're gonna get a move. That might still take a couple of days to set up here before Casper is ready. I would say also, yeah, a week potentially, you know, so this takes a week potentially before we're gonna get that move. But that's something that also definitely right now on my radar. And that's already that's all for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you with more money and more profits tomorrow.